one. The little one feeling very, very risky. Drop going down over here. Marauders going to be taking care of these pylons, but over here on the high ground, we do have some Colossus, and they are going to be roasting the SCVs. They say, screw attacking the planetary fortress. I'm going to roast your SCVs. Marauders trying to do some damage, being lifted off right there. Going to be dropped at the expansion. Hero Marine over here taking out some probes as well. There's a whole lot of going on. Colossus is going to be trying to do some damage here, but those repairing SCVs going to make it a little too hard. Vikings moving in as well. Going to be trying to pick off those Colossus. Here's that drop over here. Warping in. Some Zealots right now should be able to take care of those Marauders unless they get lifted up. Is the little one paying enough attention? I don't think so. Ends up losing those Marauders over here. Hero Marine did end up dying to the Zealot. You can see that one kill. Our poor Marine. Expansion down over here, but look at this attack still going down. We need some repairs on this planetary fortress, but Charge Zealots making that impossible. Planetary fortress does drop to this Zealot heavy army. We have a couple High Templar over here, as well as this Immortal Stalker and a couple Sentries. Those Zealots really making quick work of things over here. Siege Tank's going to make it really hard for this push to continue, though. But we have a counterattack going down over here. Marauder heavy, going to be pushing in, doing quite a bit of damage. They could probably drop this Nexus very quickly. Not a lot over here for WhiteRA. We do have 2 High Templar. Going to be storming down. Blanket storm, so even when the little one managed to move out of the storm, he just walked right into another storm, but not before dropping the Nexus. He does not lose his units. Now we do have WhiteRA's units reinforcing and pulling back right here. He doesn't want to walk in that siege tank line. Medevac's going to be lifting up these Marauders, probably dropping on the high ground, taking a page out of WhiteRA's book, attacking from the high ground to mess up the expansion. So good job, the little one, forcing those guys off the line. Zealot's going to be taking care of that attack, though. We have some High Templar going down. Storms dropping right on top of his units. Now over here we do have a medevac, but he is doing nothing, so we don't need to pay attention to that. 2 Marauders deciding they don't want to be in the medevac. They're just going to take the long road. Hey guys, how you doing? Just walking amongst the troops there, lifting off a few of those Marauders, and come on, Marauders, don't die. Ah, that's too bad. So those Marauders didn't make it. They felt like walking instead of taking the dropship, and that's not the best idea apparently, but some nice action going on so far between these 2 players. The little one looking to rebuild that expansion, decided to lift off that expansion because he knows at this point WhiteRA is fully aware, and he will take care of that very quickly, so he wanted to get that out of there before losing it. No need in unnecessarily losing those 400 resources there. Absolutely. So another command center going down. Probably going to be seeing another planetary fortress. Might be seeing a few more missile turrets this time, though, to take care of those Colossus from a distance. Now here comes a push. Very, very Zealot heavy. Also some High Templar over here. So deciding to stop with that Colossus build. Okay, never mind. There's a Colossus coming out right now, but overall, spending a lot of his resources on these High Templar, and that's probably the best move with all those Vikings that he saw on the board. You know, those Vikings do very well, of course, against Colossus. So rather maybe go with that High Templar, drop some Blanket Storms. He's been doing a pretty good job of that so far. We have 2 dropships, only 1 Marauder though, so just dropships hanging out over here. Maybe bring those back home, repair them up, and bring them back out for some more drops. There's been a lot of dropping going on. It's been fairly well so far for the little one, so if he continues it up, it may continue to work. Now, seeing these Marauders going down for these destructible rocks, at this point, WhiteRA knows what's going on. He realizes that the little one is trying to expand to this position, so trying to prevent that from happening. A little push here forward from siege tanks, going to try to push back this large army from WhiteRA. It looks like to be working pretty good so far. Might be seeing a High Templar drop, I would imagine. High Templar and a War Prism, that usually means High Templar drop. Gonna be probably an engagement going down right here, though. Ghost moving forward, EMP going down. Great job, Storm also going down. Charge Zealots moving on in. Siege Tank sieging up a little bit too late, so those Zealots are going to be able to get up on them and do a lot of damage. Colossus going to be dropping to those Vikings right now, pushing forward against those Marauders. However, with that tank fire from back here, the push is probably going to stop right at this line, picking up those Vikings. Going to be pulling them away right now. Probably want to use them on that bad boy right there. That would be a good idea, but I guess not. Instead, he's just going to lose them. Might be losing this command center as well. Wants to get that out of there as soon as possible. Colossus wants to attack the command center, but he cannot. He is not allowed. Even though he is like 5 stories tall, he cannot attack the command center. That's too bad. He needs to look forward instead of down. Zealots moving forward, charging up right on the siege tanks, taking them out very quickly. Colossus pushing forward as well. He'll be doing quite a bit of damage here. This is pretty devastating for the little one, but the siege tank on the high ground should help him out quite a bit. Very Marauder heavy army. You're going to be dropping these Stalkers, no problem. Also stimming up and charging up on Colossus is pretty easy for Marauders as well. Colossus does drop, Stalker does drop, and High Templar is still alive. High Templar is hanging out along with the Stalker, and we do have a drop with a Banshee going down over here. Holy heck. Banshee moving in, but no cloak, so going to be dropping to those Stalkers. That's too bad. Marauder trying to do as much damage as possible before he does drop down. Expansion going down to the high yield over here for the little one. And what a game so far. I'm glad I decided to cast this game. And again, I haven't watched this game. Colossus moving forward. I think he should go home, though, because he is not prepared to deal with this. Pretty baller game so far. I'm kind of excited about this. This has been really good. Now, we're seeing a command center drop down over here. That's weird. Well, what is he doing? I'm going to imagine this is going to turn into a planetary fortress, and this is going to be used as extra defense, but not defense against a Colossus shooting the SCVs from the back over here. Viking's going to want to move forward to help deal with this. All we have over here is Zealots and High Templar, so nothing to deal with the Viking, and the Viking may take advantage of that. We have 2 Stalkers over here. They want to move forward to help out the Colossus, but no, Zealots move forward, and they're going to want to push back very quickly. All these Marauders, coupled with that Planetary Fortress, Zealots aren't going to do a whole lot. Storm going down on the Marauders, though, coupled with that Colossus. That's going to help quite a bit, and here we go. Going to be moving in the back line. Now that he has these Stalkers here to deal with the Viking, he's going to be able to harass those SCVs pretty much non-stop. So really nice tactics we're seeing here with Colossus from WhiteRA, shooting from the high ground, shooting from behind this high yield. If you were playing on Xel'Naga Caverns against Terran as Protoss and you're dealing with these planetary fortresses, you have seen a good way to avoid them. Now, push going forward, but that planetary fortress is going to be shelling out quite a bit of damage. There's that extra planetary fortress you see for defense. As I talked about, Storm going down, doing quite a bit of damage to the SCVs that we're repairing back there. SCVs going back, trying to get as many minerals as possible before dying. These Colossus making things very difficult right now for the little one. No drops or anything else going on for the little one right now. He's just trying to deal with this as much as possible. Siege Tank is going to be shelling out some damage on WhiteRA's units as much as possible. Seeing that nice mix here of Colossus and High Templar when using up the energy from the High Templar, change them into Archons as well. They are quite effective. Going to be trying to take out that Siege Tank. He's going to be close. So lots of repairing SCVs, but I think that this damage should be enough. And Storm going down on all those SCVs. That's devastating. Walking into a Storm as well, not something you want to do at all. So nice little tactic. Repairing SCVs can be troublesome to deal with, so why don't you just use some Colossus, do some damage, and when they bunch up to repair, use some High Templar. That's a great idea. I wish I thought of that. Moving forward with his units here, going to be doing as much damage to this Expo as possible. Again, not seeing much harassment from the little one as of yet. It's been quite some time since we've seen some little one harassment, and that is because he's been constantly worked over by WhiteRA. WhiteRA is doing an excellent job of basically non-stop being aggressive, being right in the little one's base, and right in his face rather, and in his base. He is in both of those things, and making it very difficult for the little one to do much of anything. Now he's got a little task force here, but Charged Zealot's going to be chomping up right on those very quickly. Siege Tanks not in siege mode, going to be trying to move to the safety of that planetary fortress. A Viking over here trying to deal with this Colossus, should be able to take that out, no problem. We do have a drop right there of that Colossus. Colossus going down very quickly because of that EMP plus that stim with those Marauders taking very quick work, making very quick work of that Colossus. Archon going to town over here with these 2 Stalkers inside the little one's base. Little one production very low. Little one gathering very low. In fact, little one has no mining right now. WhiteRA is mining free. Little one is looking to be in a lot of trouble at this point with no mining going on. He's trying to do some work over here at this high yield, but he has very little SCVs, and the little one calls good game. So what a game between these 2 players. I am thoroughly excited that I decided to cast this. And you know what? I guess I lied, because the game time goes on for another 10 minutes. So I think WhiteRA just kind of hung out in this game for a long time. Oh no, never mind, he left. So other players, observers, hung out in this game for a long time. Well, that's too bad. So the game ended up being 30 minutes instead of 40. I do apologize. I think in real time that's going to drop it down to 25 minutes or so. So yeah, sorry, not as long as I thought it was, but still, what an epic game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And since the observer stayed in the game, we do have some guys that are just going to be chilling out. You can see here, either Tiki Sen or Keeper DE decide to stay in the game, and because of that, we're still going to be seeing these units going to work on the little one's base. Even after both players leave the game, the Zealots and the Stalker say, you know what, I hate Terran so badly, I'm going to mess up his base. So anyways, guys, this has been Force from Force Strategy Gaming. This is hilarious. Both players are not in the game, but this is still going on. This has been Force from Force Strategy Gaming. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this cast. If you guys like what's going on here, make sure you do go ahead and subscribe to our channel. And as always, guys, keep watching and keep owning. By the mineral line, so he could do a little bit of damage before he has to lift off, and he's gonna have trouble getting away with that Warp Prism because of that Thor and the massive range of that. But moving out his units at the exact wrong time. Zealot going in the mineral line, taking out a couple of SCVs right there. I don't know exactly how many he took out, but he did take out at least a few, and now the Zealots are gonna have to vacate with all of those Marines there. SCV is gonna be trying to run away, and yeah, that didn't do nearly as much damage as he would have liked. Forced to pull away with that because, again, he doesn't want to be anywhere near the Thor. Checking for any observer, and that's about it. Maybe checking for some DT as well. And DT are being warped in, but where? Where are those DT being warped in? I do not know where that...